No,
Well,
there's nothing on YouTube.
No, I went to download it and nothing was.
Maybe it was it in a private or something?
No, it was fine.
You didn't put it up as you, did you?
No?
As opposed to out of nowhere.
No, it was definitely out of nowhere because I don't even know if I can do it on mine. Don't even know if I have a YouTube account.
Yeah, if you have a Gmail account, you've got a YouTube account. Same thing.
Shows how much I know.
Capiche?
Huh?
Are we ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Episode what?
38?
52.
39.
38.
Well, it's 39 if we count yesterday's, but I don't think we're counting them.
Alright, okay. Hello everybody and welcome to episode 38 of the Out of Nowhere podcast. I'm your host today for the second attempt of this recording. I am joined once again by Stephen Allen.
Hello.
And the diva of the group, Chelsea Edgerton.
Hey!
I would say I'm the diva of the group.
Yeah,
that's a
I
fair-
don't really
that's
think
a
I'm
fair
quite a diva.
Yeah, I was just going to say I don't know if you've qualified as a diva or a women's wrestler, but Stephen is
No.
definitely the diva. I mean,
Yeah,
just look at that.
definitely.
Just look at that hair.
What hair?
Yeah, male pattern balding. Anyway, moving on from our fading locks. We're going to discuss Raw. We're going to do it real quick. We apologise in advance because we've not had a podcast come up for almost a month now, and this
2nd
podcast.
of June.
There you go, 2nd of June, and this is our second attempt at this podcast because YouTube just didn't publish something. So,
In fairness, we have recorded one every week in June.
yes, that is true. We've just not been able to put it up. If you watch us on, listen to us or watch us on YouTube, you will have got all the episodes, so you are the lucky few. But yeah, we failed to put a podcast up, which we apologise for, but we couldn't really do anything about it. So this is going to be a short show. There's only going to be about half an hour, hopefully, and then we will get back to our regular schedule after this. Fingers crossed. So let's talk about Monday Night Raw then. It opens up Seth Rollins coming down to the ring as he tries to get himself into a singles match for the title and get Roman Reigns kicked out for his drug abuse. Has it even been said what he's done yet? Is it drug abuse? I'm just kind of assuming it is.
Then that's what everyone's assuming.
We're just getting a break in the wellness policy, aren't we?
Yeah. But I mean, that's
Is there
just
anything
drugs, right?
that it could be? Is there anything it could be that's not drugs that is just really stupid? And if we found out what it was, we'd just laugh at him.
DUI rather than DWI.
Yeah.
No,
Intox-
it must be drugs. I would.
Yeah, it must be drugs because if it was DWI, DUI, we would have heard about it in a police report.
Yeah, that's true.
This is true.
I don't know.
I think it's. I do think it's quite. I don't know. What do you guys think? Whether is it important to know, like whether it's like PEDs or whether it's like just a bit of marijuana.
Well, he's doing it for the kids, so
Got
to know what type of role model he is. Oh.
Yeah, I think like well, no, I suppose if he's broke it, he's broke it. I was gonna say, is there a difference nowadays with the fact that marijuana is legal in so many states over there now that does the punishment for being found if it's that it'll be less than if it's PEDs,
Well, no, it's like the NFL in that regard, isn't it? Yes, it may be legal in some places, but in our business, the rules is the rules, and the rules is that you can't have it. So, I guess that's the way they're looking at it. But let's get away from the suspected drugs of Roman Reigns and get into what Roman Reigns wanted to. Roman Reigns? Really? Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins wanted to be a singles match, only to be interrupted by AJ Styles and then by John Cena, who all wanted to get in on the action. And we had a couple of matches that if AJ Styles and Cena won on Raw, they would be put into the match at Battleground. Yes, got it right today. Both of these guys subsequently lost as interfering with each other. And Stephen, were you surprised in the least that none of them won?
No, I wasn't surprised. I think we're very much at the stage now where we kind of just, the next couple of weeks we're going to get these kind of uh, very good matches. We cannot complain at the thought of having, Cena versus
Styles.
Styles. No, who did he fight on Monday?
Rollins.
Cena versus Rollins, and then Styles versus Ambrose. You can't complain at having those two matches, and both matches were up to the point of them getting interrupted and finishing were perfectly fine. There's just kind of no point to them at the moment, and it's just a case of rolling through until the draft comes through and this pay-per-view gets out of the way, and then I think we're going to kind of sort of restart the program. So I wasn't surprised that neither of them won and got involved in the main event. I think it's very much just a case of using this to get two high-profile matches on the program and to obviously further push Cena versus Styles at Battleground.
Now, both matches were, as I say, completed with an interruption, which I think was totally inevitable at this point. But the match still for Battleground is still scheduled to be a triple threat match. I was under the impression that maybe that Reigns might have been taken out from the way this whole thing started. This show started with Rollins totally ripping into him and Stephanie coming out and calling him an embarrassment as well. But it looks like we might still get a triple threat match. Chelsea, the Roman Reigns, the Shield triple threat. Something you want at Battleground, or do you think it should have been saved for a more important event?
Yeah, I definitely think originally it should have been set for SummerSlam. But obviously, again, I guess what they're trying to do is just get it out of the way before the brand split, because obviously I'm guessing all three of them aren't going to be on the same show. But actually, I read something completely off topic, but they're looking at 20 pay-per-views next year. Is that like
one a show? Two a month for one a show. Basically.
Yeah. That's just overkill, right?
Well, I suppose the market's reactive. They sell the tickets, then it's not too much. Now with the WWE Network, it doesn't really matter to us, does it? But could you imagine beforehand if you were having to pay $15.99 per show, or even in America where it's $50 a show? Could you imagine
$50, isn't it? Yeah.
That would have been absolutely ridiculous.
No, definitely not. And I think the network gives them the freedom, doesn't it, to do this with the brand split, that they can actually do these, individual brand pay-per-views. I'm not particularly sure how much they're going to work, but
I mean, the difficulty there would be that if separate shows had separate pay-per-views in separate months, you'd have 8-week storylines and maybe title defenses on Raw, because you have to defend your title every 30 days.
Doesn't that surely make more sense?
What, than a pay-per-view a month?
For each one. I'd much rather see title defenses on Raw than having
What's the difference?
8 hours of pay-per-view a month.
What's the problem with that?
Think of the amount of podcasts we're going to have to do.
Well, it's all right. We're going to have a B team and an A team. We're going to be the A team, obviously.
The B team's dead.
We're the only team that's going to have any content going up. Seriously, if anybody's heard from Ollie, let us know, because he's missing in action.
He gone.
He died from root canal surgery.
Well, it certainly appears that way. Anyway, let's move on. Ow, just totally poked myself in the eye. Fuck. Alright, I'm back.
Sure, you don't need to take like 5 days off.
What, from work or the podcast? I'd take 5 days off work. Nah, well, fuck that. So we're going to get Ambrose and Rollins and Reigns at Battlegrounds. Do we get AJ Styles versus Cena, or do we just get the Club versus Cena, or Gallows and Anderson versus Cena? How did you see it playing out, Stephen?
Well, as per the conversation we had yesterday about it, we was kind of on talking about, it possibly be just we could only see it being AJ versus Cena. But we kind of were when you disappeared, when your internet went down. Me and Chelsea were talking about it, and seeing as we didn't get as usual Finn Balor mention yesterday's, we were talking about the fact that obviously the Balor Club trademark has now been dropped, and Finn doesn't necessarily have to come and automatically fall into the club. Could we see? Could we see? It be Cena versus the club, aka sort of Gallows and Anderson, and Finn come down because he'll have been drafted at that point. Finn come down and be a surprise tag partner for Cena.
I've seen more
I'd like
today
to.
about
I'd like to see
Finn.
that.
Yeah, I've seen more today about Finn being in the draft. Also off topic again, but the talk at the moment is Finn and American Alpha are the ones that are going to be drafted.
I mean, that makes all kinds of sense.
Yeah, Finn is definitely getting drafted. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He's going to be one of well, not a surprise because it's not going to be a surprise to us, but he's going to be one of the NXT guys that gets a mention on the actual show itself. And what a way for him to then make his impact by going straight in. I'm presuming now they've removed sort of the Balor Club trademark for now. They're going to try and keep him out of the club, and keep him by himself.
You
As
see him
Chelsea was,
tagging with Cena on Styles versus Cena one-on-one club come out. Oh look, it's Finn Balor.
I think there's potential for it.
So if at some point during the next 2 weeks we get a Club versus John Cena plus a mystery partner.
Oh, we know who
If
that's
they come
going to
out
be.
and say mystery partner, then we've called it. Absolutely.
Well, I've taken the news in a different way. So it's good to get a different opinion, I guess, because we usually all agree. But I think the lapse of the Balor Club trademark is simply an admission that they just simply never thought that they would be able to get AJ Styles in the WWE. Whereas Gallows and Anderson may have been a more realistic prospect. You could have had the Balor Club formed with AJ and Gallows and Anderson. I just don't think they ever thought that getting AJ Styles would be a possibility, and so the Balor Club would have been the way they would have gone. But
Yeah.
since he has come and has done so well and is so popular and is working, scrap the Balor Club idea. That was a great plan B, but plan A of having AJ Styles Club is the one to go with.
It was, but and I can completely see that being a possibility and that being something that they have done.
Because we're not
But,
that.
I mean, what about the? You've got to sort of think of the merchandise as well. I mean, how much Balor Club stuff have you seen in the last, last 2 months, 3 months, and they're not. They'll do anything with regards to that, won't they? To if it's selling the kind of keeper. I'm really surprised that they have dropped it. I mean, like I say, for me, it was never. He never had to come and be Balor Club when he came up straight, up onto the main roster. He could have just gone as Finn Balor, and that could have been something for a future reference. I don't know.
And also, it didn't really need changing because instead of having a Balor Club where it's him and a bunch of cronies in a wrestling capacity, why not just call his fan base the Balor Club? That totally makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think
Yeah,
it is a mistake getting rid of it.
You think what, Chelsea?
I just think it's a big mistake them getting rid of the Balor Club thing. I mean, even if it was originally for the Anderson Gallows and the whole Bullet Club thing to begin with, I think it's proven so popular that, like you say, it doesn't have to mean that. It can, like you say, it's the equivalent of the C Nation sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Do you not think it smacks of a administration lapse, and it totally didn't mean to happen?
So if you can still buy it quick, because they might pay you mega bucks for it.
Do you imagine? Yeah, should we do it? Should we inquire
So,
how much it is to trademark the Balor Club?
to be fair, we'd end up losing.
Somebody's taken that already.
Do you
Yeah.
reckon?
Definitely.
Probably. So, Balor Club, no more, but maybe Balor coming to Raw next month.
Yeah, I think definitely coming to Raw, but just going back to the original sort of question, I do think that they will try and keep it to AJ versus Cena.
Oh yeah, that's the way we started this.
You know, I know that he's kind of hinted at like Cena has hinted at basically it's him versus all three of them, hasn't he? At them, in recent weeks and leading up to the last pay-per-view, obviously he got Styles to sign that contract saying it was just him and not the club he was fighting. But I think they've put on such a good show and they've worked so well together so far. I think they'll try and keep it to them two, but I do think if it ends up in the next couple of weeks, it starts looking like it's going to be Cena versus 1-on-2. I would really expect a Finn showing.
Do you not think this whole storyline of you're just going to get your cronies to come and help us out on all that jazz? Don't you think that just tells us that it's going to culminate in either a cage match or a Hell in a Cell match or something where they're surrounded and no one else can get in?
Yeah,
We're going to see that, aren't we? I guess that'll be the third SummerSlam match.
yeah. I mean that's assuming that obviously they're on the same brand.
Isn't the Hell in a Cell the pay-per-view after SummerSlam?
All right, is that right?
I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain it is.
So does it go to then? Who knows?
Maybe.
I kind of just expect it to be done by SummerSlam. Steven's absolutely right. They could be on separate shows, but I kind of get the feeling that they're going to be the marquee for whatever brand they're on, and your Rollins, your Reigns are going to be heading up the other brand.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think.
I think it is very much. I think the top guys are going to be Reigns and Cena, aren't they, on either show?
I mean, for that, Cena has not really been in the main event picture for a long time.
There's no way Cena's not the number one draft pick.
Number one.
Depends all about what Eric Bischoff wants, Let's move on.
If it's Heyman, we're going for Brock Lesnar straight away, isn't he?
No, because he's a businessman, is Paul. He knows that he costs a lot of money and he doesn't wrestle very often, so, business over personal. Anyway, move on. Let's get away from our dream Eric Bischoff versus Paul Heyman show, and let's move on to. I'm just going to quickly blitz over a few things on Raw, and you guys can chime in with a comment if you want, just so we can get through this rather rapidly. Rusev is the US title holder. He has a match with Titus O'Neil. He loses by count out. Nobody cares. Yep.
Yeah, we've lost all status on the US title for now.
Awesome. Equally, the Intercontinental title is around The Miz's waist, who is actually back on Raw after wrapping up his filming of the Marine 5. He has a match with, of all people, Kane, and loses by count out. No one cares, right?
I think you care a little bit, don't you?
Oh, I just want to see Kane win. I like The Miz. I just want to see. I would like to see Kane with the title. But that's my only reason.
Would they really give Kane a title again?
No, that absolutely wouldn't.
No.
No, I'm not under any illusion that it's going to happen. I just like it.
It's better.
Do you think he's going to have a match with Miz at the pay-per-view then?
I mean, that's the only thing I can assume.
When was the last time we had Kane wrestle? Because it was.
He comes in for these one-odd matches every now and then, doesn't he? So if he's around next week on Raw, then I think we know he's going to be be the guy for the Miz to fight. Maybe this is just someone for the Miz to get a win over.
It's all just filling it until after this pay-per-view.
Yeah. I think we said it yesterday. It's a real shame that they didn't do the draft the week after Battleground, because surely that makes more sense with and ending those story. Well, not like there's any storylines with the Intercontinental title anyway, but when it comes to everything else, like having that pay-per-view after the draft just makes no sense.
Well, Stephen said that, but I had a counter argument, didn't I, that it wouldn't make sense that any matches at the pay-per-view that we didn't feel were complete, and then they ended up on separate shows after the draft, and then we would never see a conclusion to a rivalry. So Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, for example, this has been put up there as their let's wrap it up kind of match. And if they were on the same show, that wouldn't wrap it up kind of thing,
Yeah.
So that's what I think anyway. I mean, I agree in many respects that it is odd timing to have it the same week as the pay-per-view. But as well, I think you need to have that draft in place so you can hype up SmackDown for the next show, because everyone's going to watch the pay-per-view, but not everybody watches SmackDown. I mean, how many of us actually watch SmackDown?
I think I've watched it literally once in maybe the past year.
I think the only time I ever watch it is if I happen to go around to Stephen's and he's watching it with kids and it's on. That's literally the only time I ever go around to watch SmackDown. But if it's live and it's got a roster that's interesting, and I'm totally expecting it will, being a 2-hour show as well, I'm all for it.
Well, I think a lot of the reasoning for the brand split as well was because like SmackDown just wasn't getting the viewers, and the US whatever network it is that it's on, they just weren't. Yeah, the USA network just really weren't happy with the numbers, and that's the reason for the draft being on SmackDown and everything like that. It's just because that they're really not happy with what it's pulling, and obviously with the amount of things that they've got, the obvious answer is a draft, isn't it? And
do you think that's it? Do you think it's as simple as that? That the numbers are bad, so they wouldn't go live?
Well, yeah, that is one of the reasons why they've gone live, is because the USA Network just weren't happy with what SmackDown was pulling in.
How long is the live SmackDown going to be? Is it going to be 3 hours?
Yeah, it's going to be 2 hours.
SmackDown is by far going to be the better show, I think, as long as they get a good roster over there, the conciseness of a 2-hour show, and it's going to be a massive improvement. I mean,
it's not bad, the makeup. As long as that makeup is all right, then we'll be okay. But if they get the roster wrong, or they get the storylines wrong, or they get writing wrong.
Well, they're on about having like the whole separate crews, like writing teams, everything, and they're even bringing back the coloured rope too. I think that's something I read earlier.
The red ropes are on, the blue ones to SmackDown.
Yeah.
I'm all for the old red, white, and blue ropes from the old days. I don't know about you, Steve.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I want to go back to the red, white, blue. One thing I do want to say, since we talk about ring ropes, NXTs are fantastic.
NXT always looks stellar, like that. Just the black and white.
Black thing with gold ropes. I'm down for it, man. Anyway, let's move on from the big topic of ring ropes. And actually talk about something rather than skipping over. Let's talk about the women's title. This week on Raw we had Paige and Sasha Banks versus Charlotte and Dana Brooke, and Banks and Paige picked up a victory as Banks locked in the Banks statement on Brooke for the victory. Chelsea, we're kind of assuming that Sasha is now going to be the lead girl for the title. Is she going to get a singles match for the title at Battleground?
No.
Or do you have a different way of this going down?
No, I think bringing Sasha in this now is a bit of a mistake. I think because obviously the plan, as we know, has always been for Sasha to take the belt at SummerSlam. I think the way things are going, we could end up with a tag match at Battleground. Charlotte, Dana Brooke, Sasha, Paige, probably. But I definitely think that her single match for the title will be at SummerSlam, and that's where she's going to come away with it.
we've just had that very same tag match on Raw this week. Stephen, would you want to see it again on a pay-per-view setting? Would it make a difference?
I'm not particularly keen on seeing that matchup again, but I do have to agree with Chelsea that I think that is what we're going to see. I mean, we've had it seems like the Sasha Banks to win the title at SummerSlam has been penciled in since long before WrestleMania. We didn't expect to win it in the triple threat match. Or was she in the triple threat match? She wasn't in the triple threat match at WrestleMania, was she?
Who?
Who's that?
Sasha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Oh
Sasha.
yeah, it was. Yeah, but we never kind of expected to win that. Even before that match, it was a case of. It was always touted that she was going to win the belt at SummerSlam, and I think that is kind of where where they will go. I think they'll get drafted onto the same show. I think we'll get the tag match again at this Battleground pay-per-view, and I think then we will finally see the sort of Sasha build up to her getting that one-on-one, finally getting that one-on-one match against the title owner, and picking up that SummerSlam victory. The thing I would say is that I would have rather than going down this tag team route, I'd have rather seen as they've given Paige a push the last couple of weeks. I'd have liked to have seen her, fair enough, come out as the loser against Charlotte at the pay-per-view, but I would have liked to have seen her get a shot one-on-one. That would have been good.
I mean, I like the sound of Paige getting over titles match, but there's only one way that Paige is a loser.
It's only what? Sorry.
There's only one way that Paige is a loser.
How's that?
Oh.
In love. Del Rio. Really?
Fucking Del Rio.
It's a good job we recorded this actually, so we didn't get a Del Rio thing in.
I did. You're absolutely right. Totally forgot to do a Del Rio dig yesterday. Fucking Del Rio. Do we even want to talk about?
We want to talk about Del Rio.
Do we want to talk about Del Rio and Sheamus?
No.
What about?
Del Rio and Sheamus had a tag match against Cesaro and Cruz.
Oh yeah, we just chinned him, didn't we?
The match pretty much ended with Sheamus just tagging him with a boot, and as a result, Sheamus lost the match. So I'm guessing Sheamus versus Del Rio is the thing. Pretty sure fodder.
Pretty sure, yeah.
I guess. There's only one kind of scene that we need to talk about now, and that's the tag scene. Let's talk about your boys, the New Day, Chelsea. So the New Day walked down to the ring dressed as the Wyatt family. Finally, Chelsea called something. She got something right for a change, and they come down dressed. What? They come down dressed as the Wyatt family, mocking them totally, pretty much roasting them. Don't you think? It was a bit of a roast.
It was the best thing the New Day have ever done. There is no question in my mind about that. And Biggie in those dungarees, and in fact, Kofi with the butt padding as well. Like.
Yeah, man. They went the entire, they went the whole Green Mile on that one.
Yeah. But I can't even remember what happened after it.
Well, the Wyatts came out after they were being mocked for quite a long time. They said that the New Day tell the fans lies. Wyatt said it's a cruel world and positivity can help somebody in need, which I thought was a bit strange for Wyatt to be saying. He pointed out that Xavier Woods was in a bit of a trance towards the Wyatt family, and I guess specifically Bray, and told him that you could trust him and that the New Day will fall.
I really want to know how far they're going to go with this, because they could completely go all out and have like Bray Wyatt take his soul and shit like that. But I really want to see how far they take it.
Bray Wyatt is Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see the effects on a show for that. Uh,
Fine.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of a thing. He's the eater of worlds, and I don't know why you couldn't change that to a reaper of
E-
souls.
Eater of positivity.
Yeah, is positivity vacuum. That's something that we should say, wouldn't it? Um, I don't know. It's rather weird. Xavier Woods is playing his part in this thing rather fantastically. Like he's usually the boisterous one in the show, and he's usually the one who's making the most noise. But in this,
Marine 6. Marine 6, the New Day.
wow, I would definitely see that. But if the New Day are in it, who's going to be the equivalent social outcast? Social outcast come back for a second role?
Oh,
Yeah,
who
why
doesn't want
not?
that?
Probably because they all die.
Spoilers.
I don't know. I'm assuming. I mean, it's the social outcast.
Bo Dallas isn't gonna die.
Nah, he believes too much. So, what do you think's going to happen with this New Day Wyatt thing, Steve?
Um, I'm being honest. I'm not entirely sure. I've been sort of gone on record as saying that I expect like the New Day to keep the titles through to the breaking record.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I kind of stick by that. So I don't expect anything other than I'm assuming that they're going to end up um, fighting at Battleground. I don't expect um, I don't expect the New Day to drop the titles. Um, I suppose the interesting bit is I suppose, is there anything in the, like you say, is there anything in the Xavier Woods bit, or is it just them doing what they do, but they do, and just kind of, carry on, like try and make the story, try and get the comedy elements into it. I don't know. I mean, I can't see Xavier Woods, joining the Wyatt family, which would be, I can imagine, would be very, very bizarre. But whether this has something to do with my other prediction, which obviously I've said a couple of times now, in that I expect my wild prediction for the draft is that the New Day are going to be disbanded, and that Xavier Woods is going to be on a different show to the other two. Whether this is the start of that, I don't know.
I certainly hope that doesn't happen. I mean, that wouldn't bring
Yeah,
any positivity to my life whatsoever.
it wouldn't bring any positivity to mine neither. I mean, I'd be just as devastated as anybody else. But I do think that they mentioned a tag team splitting up on purpose when this first came out, that they were going to do the draft, and you've got two. I think you've got two teams there that have got a chance of being split up, and it's either Enzo and Cass or the New Day.
Oh, they do this.
One of one of the big teams at the moment is going to get split.
It upsets me that the Dudleys are not considered a big team in Enzo and Cass are.
Well, we can't deny how over they are with the fans at the moment.
No, that's true. That's true.
In terms of that, that's going to be more of a shock and a more of a something than the Dudleys. But I do genuinely think that we'll see Xavier Woods on a different show to Kofi and Big E.
Do you think he can
I
survive on
reckon
his
it'll
own?
be the other way round.
Big E on his own?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say I reckon Big E could be the one by himself. I really don't think that, as much as I wish they would, I can see Big E out of all of them as the one that would definitely do backs by themselves.
He would be the logical one to go by himself, because, like you say, he could fit into any kind of title scene, couldn't he? But I think that keeping those two as I don't know, you might be right there. I think, yeah, to be fair, I think either of them, I think Xavier or Big E is gonna be the one that thing is, and then I suppose in a way it could be easier to have Xavier and Kofi as the tag titles, and it would be a little bit more realistic for them to lose it at the next pay-per-view than if it was Big E and Kofi.
My problem with the whole thing is that I guess out of anybody breaking up, I would think it'd be Big E, because he's been so hot lately that he could definitely go on a singles tear for any of the titles. I mean, he's been wrestling at a high level lately, and we've all said it.
Absolutely, yeah.
But can he continue this character on his own? I mean, you couldn't see him coming down to the ring and just saying, "Oh, New York City!"
No.
You know, I just don't see him doing that. It'd be a return to his old character, and I really don't want that. Or maybe somewhere in between. Or do you think maybe this whole thing has kind of relaxed him a bit? Because he would have been one of the ones who, if you'd have said, Big E, what's your opinion on him? I'd have gone, like Apollo Crews, good in the ring. Nothing when it comes in terms of the microphone. But I guess now he's definitely shown he can, and he probably feels that he can inside himself. He's got that ability now. So I don't know if it would be a different story now. He's got a bit of experience of. I don't know. Be an interesting one to see. I'd be interested to see if that's how if that's the way it played out. Even if I don't want it to.
It's a big. It's like I say, this is very much my kind of wild card prediction for the draft. You know what I mean? I mean, if they've got any common sense, they keep them together, don't they? But
Well, you said it earlier on when in regards to Finn, the New Day are going to be doing some merch, right?
I think over
definitely.
WrestleMania they were in the top 3 merch sellers.
And obviously we've mentioned it a couple of times on the last couple of podcasts. The current news for the tag team division and the draft is that they're going to go over the shows.
So they could continue as the New Day. Anyway.
So exactly, like they might be on the different shows, and it gives Xavier the Woods to kind of, because let's face it, he's not really getting the opportunities as a wrestler.
It's just a manager at this point.
Through there, and maybe this is an opportunity for him to show the wrestling skills that he's got, really, because he can wrestle. He just doesn't get that opportunity. And I think splitting them from that point of view, giving Xavier the option of doing singles matches as well, if they allow them to basically cross over the brands for the tag teams, it kind of doesn't affect them, does it?
No, I guess not. But
then what's the point in splitting them up, I suppose?
Yeah. That only works while they're the champions. As soon as they're no longer the champions, they can't cross over shows. So I guess that's how I'd argue against that. But
yeah.
I can certainly see it happening. I wouldn't want to see it happen, but again, I'd be interested to see how it plays out if it does. Out of anyone, I think Big E would go a separate way, and he could be the most successful that way. I think if Xavier or Kofi go their separate ways, then they'd be clutching to stay on, relevant. Which is sad to say because I think Kofi's had some of my favourite storylines when he's been considered a serious wrestler. When he went up against Randy Orton, I don't know if you remember that. When and he fucked up his car, Randy Orton's car. That whole storyline was awesome. What the hell was that?
That was my phone.
Jesus.
Right next to the laptop.
So yeah, I think Big E would be the one to go, spread his wins. But that's your wild prediction, Chelsea. I'll put you on the spot. Your wild draft prediction.
Go. Bailey doesn't come up.
Count. Ooh, that is a bit of a good one. Yeah, I kind of totally expect her to come up at this point.
She will also be live on the draft.
I don't know. Again, this is just from stuff that.
It's a power team, Finn and Bailey.
That's a what?
A power couple.
Oh yeah, 100%. But no, you just asked for my wild opinion. Bailey not coming up. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly a wild card, that's for sure.
I
would be very surprised.
So I get extra fantasy league points.
No, I mean, I think when we get the show before the draft, I think we're going to do a prediction show, and get points for it, and see who wins the draft for ourselves. I think that's a fun way of doing a prediction show. So I look forward to that, I guess. I don't know if I
How
have
many weeks is it now? It's what, 3?
3 weeks, yeah.
Maybe 2
19th,
weeks.
innit?
Tuesday, yeah.
Not far away at all. I don't know if I have a big prediction. But
Does Roman Reigns get drafted?
Okay, I'm going to go with one. Since you're saying Balor's going to come up, I'm going to say that Balor is drafted to a show, AJ Styles is drafted to a different show, and the Bullet Club is on the show with Balor.
Or Anderson and Gallows get split up, one on each side.
Club A, Club B.
Could be.
The club could run. I mean, if they do it that way, the club could run everything on both shows. And that would be how awesome would that be?
That would be awesome.
That'd be pretty sick. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna say that in the end of it, at the end of the whole thing, we get a Balor Club, even though we don't call it the Balor Club, we just call it the club. Is that bold enough for you?
It's bold enough for now. Have a little think though.
Adequate, lacks passion. Try again. And that basically covers us for Raw. Anything you guys want to particularly point out? I've kind of skipped over some backstage segments and stuff, but nothing of any note. Anything particularly you guys want to talk about at the end of the show?
I don't think there was anything really. I think like we talked about on the Forever Missing pod from yesterday that
golden.
It was golden.
Except that bit we're going to put out that you said, Stephen. Didn't never say that again. That was horrible.
Sorry. I think I think everybody's waiting for this draft now, and we're kind of stuck in this limbo, aren't we? Between the creative team are clearly stuck in. They can't do much. They can't look to the future at the moment. It's all about closing off these stories, and I think that's what we're seeing at the moment, and I think we kind of just need to think that the next couple of weeks we might get some kind of a bit of a drop in the standard of the Raws that we've had since WrestleMania, but only because they've got to kind of close off what they've got leading up to the draft and Battleground, and I expect it to very much pick up, after that.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you on that. It does seem that we're in a bit of a lull. It very much reminds me of what we felt going into Roadblock, before WrestleMania. And we just thought this is just a block in the road that we just don't necessarily need. But this is just kind of a necessary evil. So, oh well, so be it. Chelsea, anything that you want to talk about?
I haven't seen NXT yet, so no.
No, I've not seen NXT yet either. Need to get on that. Let's make Darren Young again.
Let's make Darren Young great again. Yeah. Kevin Owens has tweeted out today that he's going to chin Nakamura when he sees him in Hawaii, basically.
I wish I was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I can't believe they're not putting that show on network.
I know, right? I don't know if the rest of that card has remained, because it was meant to be like a massive super show, wasn't it? But
it was all BS.
Yeah,
it was all BS.
But Nakamura, Kevin Owens is legit, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't know about that.
Let me just go find the tweet while you talk, Mike.
Well, while you're looking that up, then we might as well mention what happened with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on Raw, because they had the highlight reel, and we all like the highlight reel, right? Chris Jericho expected this to end up in fisticuffs, so the Jerrytron 65 100 was not there. So anybody on the Jerrytron watch, it wasn't to be seen, unfortunately. So no points for you. No drinks if you're doing the Jerrytron drinking game.
What?
Oh, in fact, I've totally got it completely wrong here. Kevin
Sorry.
Owens attacked Nakamura at Hawaii at a Honolulu house show the other night.
Oh, so that was the show that was meant to be the
Yeah.
mega show.
I don't know whether it was because he was meant to be fighting Cena, wasn't he? Nakamura at Hawaii, wasn't he originally?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that. I think that match was actually meant to be right. So maybe it got changed at last minute, but I
Yeah,
can't remember which match it was that was
Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Kevin Owens at live event.
Brock Lesnar was meant to be there as well.
Yeah, who was it meant to be
Maybe
with?
that was Kevin Owens.
No, I don't think it's Brock Lesnar. Kevin Owens. Was it? I don't know.
It's just speaking of those.
Talk about a story that never happened.
Speaking of those two, it's widely expected that it's going to be Kevin Owens and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. That's come out today as well.
I would happily see that.
Well, didn't we all want that at WrestleMania?
I think it was no, because on the card, everybody was suspecting for WrestleMania it was going to be Kevin Owens versus Taker, wasn't it? That was what the rumor mill was with Kevin Owens for Mania.
I don't know. It was only a couple of months ago, but it seems so far away.
Yeah.
So very far away.
It's a distant bad memory.
Yeah, it was one. Now you're telling me about it. I just think that second half of that show, man, I'm never going to get that time back.
But it started off so well.
Let's not go down that road. Anyway, Zayn versus Oni set for Battleground. Jericho told everyone to drink in the gift of Jericho, and then they both super kicked him in the face. So that's how that one ended. And that's pretty much wrapping up Raw in its entirety now. So let's just get out of here, I think. Sorry again, once again, for the short show, but we'll return to our regular an hour and a half.
Let's promise to put on a good show next week.
Well, under
right
promise.
Now, let's call next week's show
pre-grade show.
I'm gonna pre-grade show. I'm pre-grade showing next week B+.
Pre-show grade, I guess. B+. Well done, Stephen. Any around the NFL podcast listeners out there would totally get it. Chelsea, where can people find you?
Fight Chelsea Fight on Twitter.
Stephen, how's the game of hide and seek going?
I'm still hiding.
Well done.
Still hiding from the people.
Congratulations.
Can you still scroll through Twitter and stuff?
You are?
Or are you just on a complete Twitter blackout?
Oh no, well I've just been on Twitter. I'm just on secret Twitter.
You can have secret Twitters.
I've got secret. You know, like how Varys has his birds on Game of Thrones. I have my own Twitter. My own Twitters.
What is your life descended
It's for
to,
the best
Steve?
that I'm secret.
what is it descended to?
Carnage.
You can catch me at DjangoBob96 on Twitter. Go to our website, outoflies.net, for all of our wrestling articles that we put up, because we put up so many. And also for our gaming news and our TV and movie coverage as well. E3 has been a big time in the last couple of weeks, so if you're into gaming and you want to see some reactions from our crew, by all means go there. But that'll do us for today, and we hope to see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.